Hi everyone, welcome back to Onyx Pages. I'm in Jerry and I am here with a massive haul. My first haul of 2019. I've been collecting books since December of 2018 because I wanted to make sure that the haul was meaningful and fun and thorough. So what I've done is I've categorized my haul into different sections, and Tomi suggested that I consider breaking it up. So I might do that depending on how long it is. So welcome to the first haul of 2019. I'm gonna start off with children's books and coloring books. So the first two books for kids, children, middle grade that I want to tell you about are two graphic novels that were written and illustrated by Janine Carrington. And Janine Carrington is a wonderful woman who I've had the pleasure of learning about through Glad Day Bookshop, which is an LGBT bookstore in Toronto. So these are the two graphic novels. So the series is called Everything is Wonderful, Volume 1 and Everything is Wonderful, Volume 2. And Janine was so kind to send these to me along with a beautiful note, and her handwriting is amazing. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? It's like a font. Is it a... Yeah, it's like a font. It's not a font, but it's like a font. So volume 1 is called Orientation. The Age of Bitcoin, Debit, and Credit. A mysterious company called let me start again. The year is 2019. The age of Bitcoin, debit, and credit. A mysterious company called the Corporation rapidly, silently, and unexplainedly begins amassing a mountain of money. Who are they? What do they want? What are they doing with all that cash? Fast forward to the year 2028. The Corporation has constructed an island to house this huge pile of currency and hired 150,374 armed employees to take care of it. And as if that wasn't strange enough, they've also created a giant hole in the ground and they are expecting more money coming in. So Everything is Wonderful follows the bizarre adventures of 4 of M's disillusioned, disenfranchised, disempowered, and broke employees who know this weird corporation is up to no good. So that is Everything is Wonderful, Orientation, and then this one is Everything is Wonderful, Volume 2, What's the Problem? I'm looking forward to learning about this corporation and all this money that it has in the ground. And I believe that there are a group of kids who save the day. So this is Janine Carrington, and you would know Janine Carrington if you've been following this channel for a while because she has some great coloring books called Supernatural. So this is Supernatural 2, The Orange Menace. And I love her coloring books because they have gender non-conforming characters that you can color in, and they're just like really cool, and I actually color in them, so I like that. And this particular one is super special because this character, Justice, was based off of Tomi. So Tomi is a superstar and a superhero in this coloring book. So that's cool. Okay. Now I'm going to dive into the world of Zetta Elliott. Zetta Elliott is, she's a writer. I believe now she's based out of Philly, but is a Canadian writer. She independently produces her work through her own press. And she has some other books that have been published through some mainstream publishers. So she has been somebody that I've been getting to know, and I really appreciate her candor and her skill and her acquaintance. So she's lovely, and she sent me 4 books. And I want to tell you about these 4 books. So the first book is called The Deep. The Deep plunges readers into a dangerous underground world policed by members of the League, a secret group of women and men who use their intuitive abilities to detect energy surges far below the Earth's surface. In the Deep, ancient sources of malevolent energy are bubbling up through the bedrock, and only members of the League know how to detect and seal the leaks that allow evil to enter the world. Nyla Evans knows nothing about the war being waged beneath the city. It has been almost a year since she moved from Ramstein Air Base in Germany to Brooklyn, and Nyla is still searching for a way to belong. It doesn't help that she has started to hallucinate while walking the city streets. But things get even stranger when a man named Osiris approaches her and offers to introduce Nyla to others who have similar gifts. When Nyla refuses, her friend Dee is kidnapped and held in the Deep until Nyla agrees to let Osiris guide her underground. There, miles beneath Brooklyn, Nyla meets Lada, the mother who abandoned her a decade ago. Furious that Nyla is being recruited by the League, Lada tries to prevent her daughter from following in her footsteps. But Nyla feels at home in the Deep, and her training begins at an accelerated pace when the League discovers an earthquake will soon hit Brooklyn, releasing unprecedented levels of malevolent energy into the city. So The Deep is the companion book to Ship of Souls, which was published in 2012, which was a sci-fi fantasy title for youth and finalist for the Phyllis Wheatley Book Award. So Ship of Souls. I do not have Ship of Souls, but I do have The Deep, which I look forward to reading. Another Zetta Elliott title is called A Wish After Midnight. And this, I believe, is the second book. I think this is the first book. So this is the first book in a series. So this is A Wish After Midnight, which is the first book. And then the sequel is this one, which is The Door at the Crossroads. So I'm going to read the back of both of these novels. So this is A Wish After Midnight, a novel by Zetta Elliott. Jenna is a 15-year-old girl who wants out of her tough Brooklyn neighborhood, but she gets more than she bargained for when a wish gone awry transports her back in time. Facing the perilous realities of Civil War-era Brooklyn, Jenna must use all her wits to survive. In the tradition of Octavia Butler's Kindred and Madeleine L'Engle's A Wrinkle in Time, A Wish After Midnight is the affecting and inspiring tale of a fearless young woman's fight to hold on to her individuality and her humanity in 2 different worlds. I'm looking forward to this. This is the first time I read a description of the book, so this sounds really great. Okay, so the sequel, The Door at the Crossroads, reads, one summer night, Jenna Collin makes a fateful wish that sends her and her boyfriend Judah spiraling through time. They land hours apart in the city of Brooklyn and in the middle of the Civil War. Jenna is taken to the free black community of Weeksville, but Judah suffers a harsher fate and is sent to the South as a slave. Judah miraculously makes his way back to Jenna, but the New York City draft riots tear them apart once more. When Jenna unexpectedly returns to her life in contemporary Brooklyn, she vows to fulfill the mandate of Sankofa, go back and fetch it. But how will she summon the power she needs to open the door that leads back to Judah? So I'm looking forward to reading this too. It's a little heterosexual teenage romance, and I try to read books that challenge heteronormativity, but I'm still going to read it, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I love that this is kind of giving me vibes like definitely Kindred, but also Dread Nation. kind of vibes as well. So that's cool. All right. So my last Zetta Elliott pick is Dragons in a Bag. Now this was published by Random House, and she signed it for me. It says, "Keep magic alive." I will. There are 2 rules when it comes to dragons. 1, don't let them out of the bag. 2, whatever you do, don't feed them anything sweet. Jackson really doesn't want to spend the day with the mean old lady his mother calls Ma, until he realizes that she isn't actually his grandmother and she is a witch who is in the middle of an important job, moving 3 baby dragons out of Brooklyn and into a magical world where they can survive, and she needs Jackson's help. Before he knows it, Jax and his friends Vikram and Kavita have broken the only 2 rules Ma gave him about dragons. Keeping them in the bag was not nearly as easy as it sounded. Will Jax deliver the baby dragons safe and sound, or will they be lost in Brooklyn forever? That sounds cute. So this is Dragons in a Bag. And Jax is very cute too. Can you see Jax's cute little face? So that's cool. And then I have 2 more. So this one is called Ada Twist Scientist. Oh, and it's by Andrea Beatty, illustrated by David Roberts. Tommy and I were walking down in Little Italy, and we found this hipster baby store, and we saw this. So it is Ada Twist Scientist. Okay. Ada Twist's head is full of questions. Like her classmates Iggy and Rosie, Ada has always been endlessly curious, but when her fact-finding missions and elaborate scientific experiments go too far, her frazzled parents banish her to the thinking chair. Will all that thinking change Ada's mind? Ada Twist Scientist is the follow-up to the best-selling Iggy Peck Architect and Rosie Revere Engineer. With the same spirit of curiosity and perseverance as her classmates, Ada is sure to inspire young readers to pursue their own passions. So I'm super excited about this because it is a children's book about a Black girl who is a scientist, or who will become a scientist. So I'm collecting children's books and middle grade books and things like that. So I'm liking that. And then the last children's book is called Julianne is a Mermaid. Julianne is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. Every Saturday morning, Julianne and his abuela go swimming. But the day Julianne spies 3 women on the subway, everything changes. He is entranced by their beautiful hair, their swishy, shimmering mermaid gowns, and their total confidence. When Julianne gets home, all he can think of is becoming a mermaid himself. But what will his abuela think? Utterly mesmerizing and full of heart, Jessica Love's author-illustrator debut is a radiant celebration of individuality and a triumphant win for unconditional love. I am hoping that Julianne is a Mermaid is a story that, yeah, I think it is. It's a story that gets us to think about how we would support children who were gender non-conforming very early. Oftentimes in our families, we really try to force boys to be men and girls to be young women or young ladies. And so I often wonder, you know, what other options are there for children who very clearly might have a gender identity or might express their genders in ways that challenge some of the traditional norms. So I really like that this book is out there. So given that this video is almost 18 minutes and I've only gone through the YA middle grade and children's books, I'm gonna pause here. I hope that you enjoyed this haul. If you've read any of these books or you're curious about them, please put a comment in the comment area below and we can chat. I will be back very shortly with another video with my next set of haul books. Bye.